Peace and blessings, YouTube. Fierce ESG Diva here. Finally back with another update. Okay, I know. I know. Y'all are mad at me, right? I left you at 3 months and hadn't been back since. But hopefully I can make up for that with the next three videos. So I'm going to get you caught up on exactly where I am today now that I am 6 months out. But this video is going to focus on the fourth month, on my fourth month only, okay? So if you want to know how I did in month 4, stay tuned. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the video. So the first thing I want to tell you though is that you should be following me on Instagram. When I disappear from YouTube, I am always on Instagram. And I want to thank you those of you who have actually found me on there, found me from YouTube first and then actually followed me on Instagram, because you see that I post daily, several times a day. I post all kinds of things. So that's where you can keep up with me, is on Instagram. I'm kicking around the idea of a Facebook page, but I don't know just yet. Y'all let me know in the comments or shoot me a DM on Instagram if you think I should join Facebook or not. So I am going to be talking in past tense because, as I said, as I'm recording this video, I am at a little over 6 months or post-op right now, but I want to talk about my fourth month. So I'm going to be talking in past tense here. So for month 4 post-op, my current weight at month 4 was 220 pounds. That is a loss of 8.2 pounds in month 4. That's a total loss of 50 pounds from ESG. And then when you add the few pounds that I lost a couple weeks before ESG, that makes 56 pounds overall. I was very pleased with my progress, although I will say that I did notice a slowdown. So my month 4 was between November 19th and December 19th. And of course, that's kind of the holiday season. So we had Thanksgiving coming around, and I did notice a slowdown. It's also the month where I got, I guess, really steady with my nutrition. So I had the same nutrition plan from month 3, but in month 3 I was just hitting the goals because my stomach was still a little swollen and it was still hard to be able to hit those goals consistently. In month 4 I started to kind of hit my stride with that, or at least hit it more often than not. So for my nutrition, my dietitian, who is the dietitian that goes with the program at True Your Weight Loss, she had me on 120 carbs, 90 grams of protein, 40 grams of fat. Okay, the ratio is 40% carbs, is 30% fat, 30% protein. So I am not on a low carb diet. I actually do eat carbs. I try to eat the best types of carbs, but I do eat carbs, and have been eating them since month 3. So in month 4, I started to hit that goal a little bit more consistently. It takes a while to work up to that amount after the procedure, because your stomach is still swollen, and it just seems like it's a lot of food at that point. But I did start to hit that a little bit more consistently, okay? So that was my nutrition. Now, we did have Thanksgiving, and I was fine for Thanksgiving. We kept it at the house because of COVID, so it was just me, my husband, and our 2 kids. That was it. I did cook, but I didn't go overboard with the cooking. I had the dressing, and we didn't do turkey. We did ham, and then we had some chicken, and I did make a decadent macaroni and cheese, like with the full, like 5-6 cheeses, all that great stuff. So I did that. And then I also had a sweet potato pie that my mother-in-law made, and I made a cheesecake. Now, for our cheesecake, I did use stevia instead of sugar, but it was also topped with the was it like the cherry pie filling and blueberry pie filling. So I ate in moderation. I did not restrict myself. I did not track my calories on that day or track my macros on that day or the day after. So I gave myself the 2 days to be able to eat, and I didn't go overboard because I wanted to enjoy the food without actually being obsessed over the calories and tracking. So for those of you all that are following me on Instagram, you know that I track and weigh my food religiously. That I am almost a little um, anal, to say the least, about. And that's because I'm really trying to learn what my portion sizes look like for me at this stage, and what makes me full. I'm always trying to eat to satisfaction and not exactly to fullness. So I don't want my sleeve to tell me when I'm full. I want to know that with this amount of food on the plate that I am full and I can step away from it without waiting for it, because I'm not one of those people that wants to just eat and eat and eat and then get sick because of it, or wait for myself to get sick or wait for those signs. No, I'm going to stop when I'm satisfied. And so I think that's a really good tip when it comes to these types of procedures, any type of weight loss procedure, like, weigh and track your food. So I have two food scales that I use. One's a little bit newer, one's kind of an old school one. And then I use my measuring cups and, teaspoons and tablespoons and all of that. And I weigh and measure pretty much everything. At first it was kind of a pain. It still is a little bit, but I'm getting to the point where I can eyeball a little bit more. So I do weigh and track my food all the time. And with eating that amount of carbs, fat, and protein, and that's 1,200 calories, by the way, for those of you that look at calories, that's what I'm on, the 1,200 calories. I did not hit any type of real stall or weight plateau. Each week, I pretty much lost anywhere between um, about a half a pound to almost up to 4 pounds and a week. And so that was, the 4 pounds was really high, but for the most part I'm typically a 1 to 2 pound girl a week. That's what I'm starting to understand about my body, or what I understood in month 4, that I was going to be the 1 to 2 pound a week girl, and that was going to be fine for me. But I also started to notice a pattern where if I did have smaller losses, so I may have had a half a pound or 1 pound, maybe 2 weeks in a row, by the time that third or fourth week rolls around, it's like a 4 or 5 pound. I think they call it the whoosh. It's like your body's holding on to it for a little bit, but then the whoosh is coming. So I never really got upset if I got on the scale and it was only half a pound, or the once or twice that it didn't move at all. I'll talk about that in my 6 month video, exactly how many times that's happened within the 6 months. But I didn't really get upset with that because I know that it will move as long as I know that I am tracking and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and that I am moving my body, and counting every little thing and really putting my all into it. My body is responding to it. So I do believe that this procedure has been successful for me so far. Now, as far as exercise, you all know that exercise is my weak spot. Exercise is what I don't like to do. I never like to exercise, and I say this so often and so loud because it's so true. And if you're following me on Instagram, you probably think she's lying because she's always posting about working out. That's because I work real hard at not um I work hard at not working out. Does that make sense? Basically, what I'm saying is I know that that's my weakness, and so I go hard at that so that I can overcome that. So I get upset if I don't work out 2 days in a row. I feel like I'm not doing well if I don't work out to at least if I skip or rest 2 days in a row, because it's so easy for me to not move this body. It's really easy for me to sit my behind down. I'm telling y'all. So that's why I work so hard at it. It's like when you know something is going to be an issue, so you have a plan to prevent it, and that's what I do. So as far as working out, I during month 4, I continued with my walking. I like to walk a lot, so I continued with my walking. But I also started to add in other forms of cardio. So I dusted off my Turbo Fire DVDs that I had, and I would pop in a Turbo Fire DVD once or twice a week. I was still doing my my weights, where I was lifting about 5 pound weights in my arms and things like that. I was still doing my body weight squats. And so I try to do the strength things about 2 to 3 times a week. And then I try to hit the cardio about 5 to 6 times a week. And that's how it was in that month. But I'm usually never working out like more than an hour. Like that's my, again, I don't like to, so I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna be overly zealous. I'm not trying to win the A+ award for working out. So I do just enough for my body to respond. And that's kind of the mind frame that I have going into this. So those are the things that I started to do. And then toward the end of month 4, I started to do a little bit of step aerobics. There's a step instructor that's here on YouTube that does live Monday through Thursday at like 12 noon Central Time. And I'll join that and step with him. And that was kind of to mix it up because the walking was getting a little bit boring, right? So that was kind of to mix it up and to have a little bit of fun. So that's kind of what I started in month 4. I'll talk more about the step aerobics in month 5 because that's when I really started to do it a little bit more. As far as issues or complications, um, any negative effects. Okay. So in month 4, I really did not see any issues. And that's kind of some of the reason why I didn't make videos. I just did little posts about it on my Instagram because I really didn't have anything to report. There wasn't anything that I was really struggling with. I felt like I went through the holiday season and went through Thanksgiving really smoothly. So there wasn't anything that I was really struggling with. Water is always an issue, I guess, and it's not necessarily an issue because I can't drink it. I can drink water like, I mean, I can gulp it back. There's no restriction whatsoever when it comes to like liquids really, at 4 months out. But but I'm not thirsty. Let's put it that way. I'm not an overly thirsty person. So I don't just think to drink all the time. And then not only that, but I was still following the guidelines at month 4 of not eating and drinking. So at the same time, so I would eat my food, and while I may be thirsty while I'm eating my food, I wait 30 minutes. Well, by the time I waited 30 minutes, then my thirst is gone and I don't even think about drinking anymore. So I am making a conscious effort to drink. I stay with a tumbler of water. There's my little tumbler right there, and I have another one that my husband actually got me as a present for the with my Instagram name and all that on there. So I stay with that tumbler of water, pretty much with ice water, and by my bedside, and I try to start drinking when I wake up in the morning. Like it's by my bedside at night, and before my feet hit the floor, I start drinking, and that seems to kind of help. The next thing that I did during month 4 that I have continued to do and started a couple days after ESG was the IV infusions. So there's a IV bar called IV Bars here, and I think it's a national chain as well where they offer IV drips, different cocktails, and you can get them custom mixed, or you can you can use certain ones that they have already available. You can put add-ins in it like certain vitamins and biotin and all kinds of things to add in there. So I have been getting those. I've been getting those since I had my first one 2 or 3 days post-op. When I got home, I had it that next day. I got home on a Friday. Had it that Saturday. And so now I try to get them about twice a month. I have the membership for that company, and so I pay a monthly fee, and then I get discounts when I go. And so I try to get them twice a month. I usually get a 32-ounce bag, which is like 1,000 milliliters, and then I'll mix a different type of cocktail within there depending on what I need. So they have some for clarity, they have some that helps with energy, they have some that helps with like if you have some muscle soreness for working out. And so I just kind of go and get those as a preemptive measure. There's nothing that says that you have to get those with ESG, or I think with maybe any procedure, but I just like to get them to make sure that I am doubly hydrated. especially since I've been adding in a little bit more caffeine in month 4. I have the coffee that I drink, that's the coffee with the protein shake. And then I also have a pre-workout that I have been taking sometimes. I don't do it all the time, but sometimes you just need an extra boost. And so I know caffeine can dehydrate you. So I try to make sure that I get those IVs at least twice a month. And then I'm also drinking water within there. But as far as any other issues that I've had during month 4, again, I really didn't have any major issues that were noteworthy. I mean, maybe a little gas pain here and there because I did start drinking more so with a straw, and I can do that. That's fine at month 4, according to my doctor. But sometimes that would give me gas, and it would feel a little weird. Like it wouldn't feel like gas; it would kind of feel like hunger, but it wasn't. And so I would eat, because I would think, oh, well, my stomach's growling. I must be hungry. But then that didn't take it away. And so then, like, probably a couple hours later, I'd realize, oh, wait, I drank through a straw this morning with my coffee. I'm having gas. So it's just funny how we're so used to anytime your stomach makes a noise, we automatically think I'm hungry. And that's not really what it is all the time. So sometimes I would have to make sure that I would look and try to not drink through a straw because of that, because you can get gas with that. But that's not really an all the time thing. I noticed that I can do it with thinner liquids sometimes, so more like your watery liquids, then sometimes your smoothies. So sometimes smoothies with that thicker straw sometimes would give me gas. It kind of comes and goes, but it's nothing that's not bothersome. It's nothing compared to, I mean, let's be real, the stomach issues that I had before ESG, because before ESG I would have frequently have upset stomach, diarrhea, gas, heartburn sometimes and all of that. And I have not experienced that within these 4 months that we're talking about right here. So I really don't have a lot of negative things to say about the ESG, but I will say that you do need to make sure that you are controlling this up here, because sometimes you just want to eat. It is what it is. Sometimes you just want to eat. Sometimes the food I had was good. So, for example, when I say good, it probably wasn't nutritionally good, but it was good. Do you understand what I mean? So, for instance, during month 4, I did have some French fries. I did have a hamburger. I did have some fried chicken and things like that, right? The foods that's not fast foods that's not nutritionally the best choice. Now I could only eat about half the cheeseburger, and this is a basic cheeseburger, so about half a cheeseburger and about a little over half the small fries. Did I stop myself from eating that? Yes. Did my stomach say stop eating? Not right then. I probably could have physically pushed it and ate the whole small cheeseburger and ate the whole French fries, but I gave myself enough to where I got the satisfaction of it, and then I stopped. Okay, and so I am afraid of being sick. I'm afraid of throwing up. I'm afraid of pushing it, and so I don't. But I eat to satisfaction. I'm not over here hungry. Put it that way. All right, so that's kind of my nutrition. That's my exercise. I guess I'll give you a couple of NSVs, which again I had to kind of go back and look on my Instagram because some of these things I've forgotten about because this was November through the almost the end of December. But some things that I did notice during month 4, I sit down and cross my legs. I've never done that before. I didn't sit down and cross legs. I didn't even think to sit down and cross legs. It's just something that I did, right? Or that I didn't do. Now I do that and I'm comfortable with doing that, which is, just kind of weird to me. At this point, people started to notice the weight loss in my face. I've been working remotely for, since all of COVID pretty much. And so people have only really seen my face. But during month 4, the division chair for the department that I'm in made a comment and said, wow, your face looks so slim. Now, that may not have been the most PC thing to do in front of everybody in the Zoom meeting, but I'm not shy. I got a whole YouTube channel, and I'm in my underwear on Instagram showing y'all, the loose skin or whatever else I have, right? So it was fine with me. I kind of reveled in the accolades, and she did know that I had been working out. But I am open with it on at work now. I let them know that with the ESG and with my hard work, I have lost X amount of pounds, right? Um, I think the other thing, let's see, what else did I want to talk about real quick? Any other NSVs. You know what? Honestly, I'm not quite sure. I'm sorry this isn't as informative as it should be, but you can definitely check my Instagram because I do short videos on Instagram and I do them in the moment. So I have a series called ESG Park Musings where I'm out at the park and I just talk about whatever it is that's on my mind right then. Or I make a video when something happens so I can actually chronicle it as it goes. So if you have any questions that you want me to answer during this or after this video, you can put them in the comments or you can DM me on Instagram. I do respond back. I love to support other journeys and give as much information as possible. So that concludes my month 4 video. Stay tuned for month 5 and month 6. Bye.